The number of workers who have pension accounts rose to 9 million as at the end of April, according to the latest figures obtained from the National Pencon Commission. The Commission also revealed that the total assets under the contributory pension scheme rose to 10.57 trillion naira. The acting Director General of Pencom, Mrs. Aisha Damour, has said the growth of the assets justified its emphasis on the safety of pension funds as the bedrock of sustaining the contributory pension scheme. Quote, "We assure all stakeholders that the pension reform remains steadily on course." Should this number be celebrated? Can we do more? Joining me to answer these questions is Oguche Agudah, the CEO of PENOP, the Pension Fund Operators Association of Nigeria. Oguche, good morning to you. So we had 8.5 million contributors, I believe, as at December 2019. We are now at 9 million as at April 2020. What do you make of the increase?
Generally, I think it's good overall for the industry, and it's a result of the marketing and sales efforts of the industry over the number of years. So this is just a culmination of what has been done over the years. Also, it speaks to the fact about Nigeria's population. So Nigeria has one of the youngest populations in the world. So new people are entering the employment market. So that is what this is going towards. However, I think what next is about sustainability. Whether these jobs can be sustained is the issue. But the increase is a result of what has been happening over the past couple of years and months, and we are now seeing some of the results of that.
Okay, great. I want to go through some figures here as far as the stats, pension stats are concerned. So if you look at the labor force as of Q3 2018, 90.5 million people. The employed number out of that labor force, 69.5 million. Now, of course, the number we just discussed now, April 2020, active pension contributors, 9 million of them, the accounts. As a percentage, though, of the employed, 12.9%, so roughly 13%. Now, what do you make of that number? And are you satisfied with that? Can we improve on that?
Yes, Reuters, we can improve on that, and we should improve on that. We're not totally satisfied with that. We think that that number should be higher. It's a low percentage of the workforce, and there are a couple of things that are being done, and there are a couple of things that should be done. So for one, enforcement from the side of PENCOM, the government, the association. Number two, incentives, just in terms of incentivizing companies to ensure that they get more of their staff on the pension scheme. And then penalties. So because it's a law, it's statutory that if you employ more than a certain number of people, you should ensure that you make contributions and you ensure that you deduct from your employees. So 12%, 13%, fair enough, but it should be better and it could be better. And there are a number of things that are being done to ensure that that number goes higher for the benefit of the industry and more importantly for the contributors when they do retire. So yes, we need that number to go up. It's nice where it is, but it should be better.
All right, thank you for that. Now, as we look at the effects, of course, of COVID-19 on employment, just in our last segment with our analyst Chika Mbono, we're talking about the government forecasting 39.4 million or so Nigerians could be out of a job by the end of the year. Is that a challenge or an opportunity, however you can look at it, for you to add more contributors this year?
It's double-edged. It's a challenge. And the number you quoted was contained in the report by the Economic Sustainable Committee, which was chaired by the Vice President. And I read the report over the weekend. And perhaps this is an opportunity for us as a nation to begin to put in place some of the structural changes we've spoken about. If 34.5 million people out of job, is going to be bad for the pension industry, bad for the economy, and bad for individuals. But however, in the report, he said, we can change that around if we do certain things. So the report talks about certain things which we are appreciative and we stand in tune with those things. The major issue is, according to what was said, is if we can begin to produce what we consume and consume what we produce, then it's going to break out in terms of more jobs, more industries, and that will in effect turn into more pensions. So yes, it's an opportunity for us as a nation to put in place some of those structural changes that we've talked about a number of years and begin to produce what we consume and consume what we produce. And if we're able to do some of the things that the report talks about, backward integration, ensuring the agricultural sector, the manufacturing sector, then we will, number one, keep those number of jobs, add new number of jobs, and it will definitely trickle into the pension space.
All right, thank you. Now, I want to talk about sentiment, I guess, of the average Nigerian towards pensions within the context of growing the contributors number. Do you think Nigerians view pensions the way they view insurance, something that isn't in the here and now, can only be used under certain conditions? Are you in any way battling a problem of perception amongst Nigerians when it comes to pensions?
Well, I guess either pensions, insurance, or investing in the stock market, or mutual funds, or funds generally, collective investment schemes. We're not where we need to be as a nation in terms of financial literacy. So most people are aware of banks, where they save, deposit, and maybe they want the odd loan or so, but just generally financial literacy in Nigeria is low. So pensions is also viewed in that same line, and we need to do a lot more in terms of financial literacy. People still see it as something either for the rich or something for those in the formal sector. So yes, there needs to be a lot more work done in terms of just financial literacy, getting people to understand that pensions are for them. Pensions are for all classes of people and all classes of income grades. And it's something that we need to do more. We're doing quite a bit also in that regard. And there needs to be more education and literacy in the financial system generally.
All right, great. I'm glad you mentioned financial literacy. I want to look at another sector of the economy here. It's estimated that anywhere from 40 to 60% of the labor force is in the agriculture sector. How do you get the average farmer, to open up a pension account? I mean, Agric is, such a huge contributor to our economy, employs so many folks. How are you going to work that out?
Yeah. So the micro pension scheme, which was recently launched, is something that is primed to take care of those classes of people. So either you're self-employed in formal sector, the micro pension plan is primed to take care of those sets of people. That's number one. Number two is the fact that because the government is moving towards a more mechanized system of farming, then we can begin to get these sort of people into clusters, into cooperatives, and then through those cooperatives begin to do pensions for them. In addition, with some of the anchor borrower schemes that some of the multinationals are doing, we can begin to work with them to be able to ensure that some of those people that they're working with, they can begin to perhaps put some of the monies that is due to them towards pensions. And it's a whole value chain.
Oguche, are you still with us? I think he was just talking about the value chain in the agric sector. Okay.
Yes, I'm still with you.
Yeah, please go ahead. You were just talking about the value chain. If you can pick up from there.
Yes, so the value chain is really a case of the multinationals. Many of them are now backward integrating. Can you hear me, Rotus?
I can. Backward integrating. Go ahead, yes.
Yeah, so the multinationals, many of them are backward integrating. And when they do that, they work with clusters of farmers. The central bank has an anchor borrower program. So there's a lot of work being done in terms of streamlining the agricultural sector, the farmers, and getting them into a more structured process. So that structured process will also help in terms of the incomes due to them, in terms of the pensions they pay. So that is one area we're looking also into, in addition to the micro pension plan, which was launched by PENOP and which we see great uptake of that.
All right, so I had a few more questions for you, Oguche, but apparently we've run out of time. We'll have to continue this conversation again. Very interesting stuff about how to get more contributors. We've been speaking with the CEO of PENOP, Mr. Oguche Agudah, talking about increasing the number of contributors to the pension pool. Thank you so much for joining us, sir. Really appreciate your time. Once again, that's the Pension Fund Operators Association of Nigeria. 9 million contributors as of April 2020.